What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone, and welcome back to a thrilling show. Because it was a good win yesterday evening. It was a big win for obviously the standings, but also what it means for the group, and that was the main topic post game. What will it mean for the group? Motta spoke, Locatelli spoke, Di Gregorio spoke. Like, a lot of people spoke, and they were all echoing the same thing, that this right now feels good. And it actually feels good. Maybe also because we haven't won in a while, and winning is not normal for us this season, actually. It's not a given. That's maybe why it feels good. But it also feels good because we needed this. However, it will only feel better if we build on this. Like, that's basically what the players and the coach was saying post game. Fantastic, but if we don't build on this, then it was all for nothing right now, you know? And we've seen it in the past, good games, and then we go down again the same route, you know? Was it a perfect game from start to finish? No. Like, there are still some issues which we will talk about, but there are a lot of good things that we also need to build on. We need to keep hold of that. Otherwise, we will go again into a spiral where we will never get out of it, excuse me, and you will end up having a very disappointing season, you know? But before we do that, as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about it. Okay, so Motta Magic, basically, that was what the journalists were, you know, asking for. You know, is it you? Is this your quote-unquote masterclass? Is this what you want? So Motta was very simple and diplomatic by saying that I have great players, so it's very easy. I have actually very little to do with it. It's all the players, which is definitely not the case. You know, he deserves credit, Motta, because that game was prepped very well, you know, on many levels, and things that, excuse me, frustrate us are with a purpose and they work, but there are also things that are not working yet, and he talked about that as well. You know, it's a good win, you know, the way it came, the way we defended, the way we play out from the back, the goals we scored, you know, the transitions in the second half, a lot of positive things, you know, individually we'll talk about in a sec, a lot of positives, you know, besides the result. It's just the feeling and the know-how that, hey, we can beat even a team like City who is struggling, but still have a lot of quality. You know, they're still better than Lecce and so on. But we can beat them if we actually put the work in. We all, you know, are going into the same direction. We're all focusing basically from minute 1 to minute 90, because Locatelli said that we talked about post Bologna, because it's not okay that we also always needed something to react, basically. Or we needed a bad result to say, okay, now we need to have a reaction the following week, basically. That was what the players were saying post-game, that we need to start off well. We need to focus from minute 1, not going down and now we need to react. Like, that has been an issue for us, and that's costing us points. We dropped too many points, but that was not the case yesterday. Yesterday, we were focused from minute one until minute 90, basically. There was maybe a span where we got too emotional after that 1-0, and, you know, we were not really picking up every single run as we should. But again, put a lot of energy in that. We didn't really make subs until late, and it changed back then. You know, when we made the subs, we got control of that game a little bit back, you know. So it's all about fitness level, I think, as well. You know, if you look at players like Locatelli and Koopmeiners, they were top 3 for most of the most, you know, players on that pitch who ran the most, basically. So we put a lot of energy in that game. So obviously at one point you're going to drop off a little bit, but the subs came in and they killed off the game. So is this a masterclass from Motta? Is this Motta doing his thing, Motta Magic, whatever? It's just everything, but it means nothing if we don't build on it. That's the main point. But let's go into the player ratings. And you'll probably hate me for it again, as always, but that's what the player ratings are, and I'll take that risk, as always. Di Gregorio, 8. That game in the first half was massive. That kind of reminded me a little bit, you know, of the Buffon save against Messi on that pass. I think it was from Iniesta, if anyone can remember that game. Not maybe as well as good, but that moment, even in that game, it was key. It was vital. It was like, okay, we needed this, and we needed that. And Di Gregorio made the save he needed to do. In the second half, he had that shot that he needed to block, which I don't think it was a good save, but like it was more about a dramatic save rather than okay, fantastic. But that was good. His kicking game in the first half was brilliant. It was spot on. So I'm giving him an 8 because that save is just massive. Savona, 8 as well. He's locking up. I don't rate Doku, by the way, but he's a dribbler, basically. He is a dribbler. He locked him up. He locked up Leao. He locked up Kvara. He's locking up a lot of players, and he's growing and he's getting better week in, week out. I know people will talk about his offensive input, but he's asked to be defensively solid by Motta, and he's being defensively solid. The only thing I can point out was in that second half, I think he let, I don't know who that was. I don't want to lie, but it was he didn't pick up a run, or there was some confusion about who should have picked up the run because he stepped in and it got blocked, I think, by Kalulu in the end. Or no, it was put in as a cross, but nobody got to the second post, basically. But other than that, he's locking up very good players, or in the very energetic dribblers, like these type of players, with great ease right now. Like, he doesn't look out of place. So fantastic, because yeah, I'm actually speechless watching him grow, because he's performing at a very high level right now. So 8 for Savona. Gatti, 8 as well. I thought he was excellent. Him and Locatelli, I'll talk about it in a sec, locked up Haaland, but I gave him an 8 because that run for that first goal, that's what made that goal. That was what was missing in the first half. Players making that run without a possession, and also getting at the end of it. And again, getting at the end of it means that somebody needs to put that ball in, obviously, which was not the case in the first half. But he made that goal. It came out of nowhere, but it was like a spark to the team saying, like, okay, like, just kick on, move forward. Like, let's get it, because that's the vibe we get out of that into the second half, with the intent of, okay, we're trying to win that game, we're trying to score a goal here and move on, and that helps. So 8, Kalulu, 7.5. I thought he had a good game, control, composed, at ease. Second half especially, laid down, made a couple of runs that bailed us out of pressure, basically. So I thought he had a good game. 7.5. Danilo, he's my man of the match. You know what I think about Danilo, and I'm not going to change my opinion on that. But on the day, yesterday, he was excellent. From minute 1 to minute 90, that could have been a bloodbath. For the way Danilo has been playing, just period, that could have been a very horrible night for us and for him. But he was excellent. Like, he just, like, the first goal, or the second goal, it starts with him, like, playing out from the back, brilliant, not like easy passes, just breaking lines, taking that risk, skipping that midfield to get that ball quickly to Yildiz, or get that ball quickly to a midfielder who was higher up the pitch. Defensively, 1-on-1, even when Doku switched side, he locked Doku up again. Like, he was just brilliant, excellent, and he was my man of the match. He was unbelievable, really. That's probably the best game I've seen him play ever. I'm not gonna lie, for us, that was just impressive. I'm not gonna lie. 8.5 for me. Locatelli, 7.5. Could have been an 8. I thought he was just unbelievable. It should have been an 8, not 7.5. He was everywhere. He was everywhere. He was quality on the ball. He was quality off the ball. Defensively, winning the ball back, winning the duels, linking up. Like, he was just excellent. Like, really, really good. That's also one of the best games I've seen Locatelli play ever for us. He had very good games this season as well, but this was like that was next level. He was extremely well. Very, very good. So 7.5. Thuram, 7. I thought he had a good game as well, especially first half, carrying the ball. I know people were saying, oh, he was standing still a little bit, but the passing lanes, closing down the passing lanes, getting the team out of trouble as well. I thought he was good, did his job. So 7. Colt Miners and Conceição, I'm going to group them together, because I think they were not the best players on the pitch. But in this type of game and result, I don't want to hand out a 5.5. So I gave them both a 6. They were off. Conceição was off, couldn't get off his dribbles. At one point, he was even defensively not doing what I'm expecting him to do. So he didn't have a good game. Conceição, Colt Miners, especially in that first, like Colt Miners runs a lot, and defensively he's important, and for the press he's also key because he sets the press, you know. So I get all these things. That's what Motta keeps hammering on. However, on the ball, that first half was really poor, was it? You know, because easy mistakes, because he keeps it safe, but he messes that up, you know. Didn't play a couple of through balls. You heard the stadium going a bit, you know, a bit confused. Why are you not playing that ball? Because that's why you got here, you know. And even if you cannot play that position, which I'm fine with it, if we move on Yildiz and we drop him a bit deeper, which I think will be a win for us and for him as well. That being said, you know, play that more difficult pass. Nobody will kill you if you play 4 of those difficult passes and only 3 of them reach Yildiz. That's enough. But if you play none of them and then you want to play the easy pass, but even that goes wrong, then people will look weird at you. Motta will protect him, but right now it's not really coming off, especially in that position, you know. So that's that. Yildiz 7. First half he cooked, you know, absolutely cooked. Only that final ball in the first half where he should have laid it off to Vlahovic, but that was kind of the story of the first half, the last final ball basically. But he was cooking. He was cooking that first half. Second half, a bit more quiet because we went the different route basically through the middle a lot of the times. But he played a very, very good game again for me, you know. So 7, Vlahovic 7.5. The goal, obviously, but just the energy, the attitude, holding up play, linking up play, that was very, very good. There was only one moment in the first half I thought, again, like everybody in the first half up front, the final ball, the final decision was off, and there was a moment where he should have squared it quickly, and he kind of kept it a bit too long, and it went to nobody. But that was basically everybody in the first half. Even Yildiz had that moment. Other than that, the attitude, the work rate, you know, the involvement, everything was very, very good. So I'll give him a 7.5. I thought he had a good game. McKennie, 7. I don't give them an 8 because I gave Savona and Gatti an 8 and Danilo, and they played the entire game basically. That's why. However, the impact was massive. The impact was massive. You know, the connection was good. Great run from McKennie. You know, that was where all the space was. Good run from Timothy Weah. The first ball was not perfect, I think, because he should have just waited a split second and he would have picked out the player. However, that cross was great. Like, it was perfect. You know, the feel that, okay, McKennie is there, the touch, the way the ball goes, like the finish from McKennie, that obviously kills off the game. That was good, but that's what I always said. Even if I'm not the biggest McKennie fan or whatever, having options on the bench with fresh legs is what we need right now. Even if they're not, if you say they're not the best options, just having fresh legs on the bench is what gonna help us a lot, despite the quality, which we can debate as well. And then in Bangula and Douglas Luiz, they only played like 5-7 minutes, so no rating. Thiago Motta, 8. And maybe more considering the circumstances we're in right now. However, he's part of the quote-unquote problem of the situation we're in with many draws. But that game was good. The players reacted. Everybody reacted. The players off the bench reacted. You know, everybody was up for it. And again, it's more easy, basically. That's what Vlahovic said. No, was it Vlahovic? I think it was Vlahovic who said it's easier to get up for or to be hyped about playing City rather than playing Lecce, which cannot be the case. You should be ready to play both, and that's kind of the situation, you know. Now it's like, okay, Venezia, can you bring the same energy you did playing City? Can you do that all over again, or are you gonna go the same old stuff again, boring, slow, no ideas, no pace, nothing really, no energy, and you drop points again? That's basically what it was. But other than that, man, we needed this. Fantastic win. But now you need to build on this. You got players back. McKennie, Douglas Luiz, Cambiaso will probably be back as well. You know, you have Vlahovic on the score sheet. You have Yildiz playing a good game. You have players individually having a very good game. Now you need to build on this, you know, and you need to go on a winning streak in the Serie A before the quote-unquote Supercoppa winter break, because we need that as well. We dropped too many stupid points, like Locatelli said post-game. But you tell me, was it Motta Magic, or was it just a good, quick reaction from the team against City, basically? Let me know. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and I will speak to you guys later. Ciao.